fellow collectors, and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we are taking a look at the Humble Origins 2-pack from the Transformers Legacy Evolution line from Hasbro. This has two figures inside. We have Senator Shockwave and Data Clerk Orion Pax, and this is pretty much from the IDW comic universe. It looks like this is going to be kind of like the Amazon exclusive capsule for this year. Kind of like the Wreckers we saw last year, where you get a couple of these boxes, you can put them all together, and it's going to make like a giant mural, which is kind of neat. Also, we can kind of see Nova Prime creeping around here in the background. A lot of people have speculated that they're probably going to use the Cybertron Optimus Prime mold for that, which was kind of a retool of Ultra Magnus. So we'll see how that all goes, but could be neat. So yeah, definitely two characters. Well, Orion Pax we've seen several times before, but not this version of Orion Pax, and Senator Shockwave is definitely something new. Never been done in toy form before, which is pretty cool. So yeah, artwork here on the front of the box looks really neat. I got this from Hasbro Pulse. It is an Amazon exclusive, but of course Pulse has some as well. And it just happened to come out first on Hasbro Pulse. I think Amazon has a July 1st street date for this, which is today, so maybe it'll be coming out from them soon as well. But Amazon actually had the prices switched. So this set is supposed to be, I think, $54.99, and then the Rise of Tyranny with Senator Ratbat and Origins Megatron is supposed to be $69.99, but they switched the prices. So I got this one from Pulse because it was cheaper there, and then I pre-ordered the Megatron one on Amazon because it was cheaper there. We'll see what happens. But basically you have the Evolution mural over here on the side. And then over here you can see Senator Ratbat is creeping. He will be coming soon. Not really much going on the bottom. Spin it around to the back. We have some nice product shots of the robot modes and the vehicle modes. And they're both heavy retools. Senator Shockwave is obviously a heavy retool of the Siege Seeker mold. And Data Clerk Orion Pax is a retool of Siege Hound. So, bringing out those Siege molds, but I definitely think they look pretty cool, and I'm pretty excited for this one. I'm going to go ahead and get both of these out of the packaging here, and we'll take a closer look. So here they are out of the packaging. They both come packaged in vehicle mode. They're just kind of wrapped up like deli sandwiches and thrown between two pieces of cardboard because plastic-free packaging, but they seem to have made it here perfectly fine. The accessories do come in a little bag. I've gone ahead and kind of clipped them on. All the accessories can be stored in vehicle mode. He comes with the little like drum of the gun that fits on the back here. The gun can peg in here. And then the axe comes in two pieces. I'll show that off more in a little bit. But they can all store there on top. And then over here for Senator Shockwave, he really just has these two little wing pieces that can peg onto the forearms. So if you don't like that look, you can take them right off. Otherwise, they peg in. They can spin around on that peg, or there's like a little hinge. So if you want to put them at maybe a 45-degree angle or something, you can. But yeah, so like I said, this is definitely the Tetrajet from Siege, heavily remolded. Very similar, but I think they did a good job. I mean, obviously the wings would come down, and instead they've replaced them with these kind of like thruster pieces here, which is kind of cool. And the colors are great, really looks nice. I like that quite a bit, but he's kind of just a brick with some tiny wings on the side. Data Clerk Orion Pax, I'll just call him Orion Pax from now on. He is the heavily remolded Siege Hound. So he does come with Siege Hound's gun, but then he has his own axe. But I like the color scheme for this. I think the visor here looks really cool. The windscreen there. Yeah, really neat. He rolls pretty well. Not 100%. I feel like no matter what I do, I can't quite get it 100% even so that all four of the wheels touch all of the time. But he rolls well enough. So yeah, that's pretty much it here for the vehicle modes. So I guess we'll just start transforming these one at a time. I'm going to start with Orion Pax. Alright, so I've gone ahead and removed all the accessories. If you remember how to transform Siege Hound, it's going to be exactly the same. For me, it had been a minute, so I decided to refer to the instructions real quick, but it's actually pretty simple. So we're going to start by coming to the underside here and just unpegging the arms and lifting them up ever so slightly. There is a tiny little blue tab right there that pegged into the forearm slot right there. So you're just going to unhook all that. Then we are going to come around, and they want you to flip up the toes, as you can see here on the side. So we will flip them up. You can kind of either push down here or flip them up with your finger from the inside here. Then we're going to pop this section off. You can see that there were two tabs here that was pegged into. And just kind of lift that up a little bit. Then we're going to come to the front here, and these blue sections will unpeg from what will become the robot chest. So unpeg those, come around to the back, and unpeg what will become the legs here. And then these whole blue sections will flip out. Now, it can be a little difficult because of the clearance with the backpack, but I find if you kind of bring it down a little bit, you can kind of sneak it past and then bring this all the way around, and it's going to rotate at the knee joints. So just bring this around like so, and then we can kind of straighten this out, and you'll see the robot mode starting to take shape. At this point, I like to kind of, splay the legs out a little bit to the side just for clearance. We're going to rotate this around, so this is going to bend here. There's a tiny little tab, and I'm realizing the shadow is making it hard to see, but right there's a tab slot, and then there's a tab right here. So you're going to bring this around, and then that is going to peg into that really snugly on mine, which is nice. And then you can kind of just bend the foot up like that. So we're going to repeat that process over here on this side. Bring this up, tab this in. Right. Nope, that's the wrong spot. I'm wondering why it's not working. There we go. Let's tab that in there, and then push this down. And then we have our two legs. Very simple. At this point, you're pretty much done. There's really not too much more to do. Let me adjust this up. We're going to flip the arms out to the side, like so. Bring this whole section, so grabbing this as well and bringing this whole section down, and that will come down like that. That will allow you to drop this back. This little panel can kind of fold back a little bit. You'll take this piece, bring this around like that, and then there's a tiny little tab right there, which will tab into the backpack right here. Now, on mine, this pops out all the time. It's not a big deal, but it does pop out a lot. And then you kind of want to just take these shoulder pieces here, the blue pieces, and kind of push them onto this blue block about as best as you can. And surprisingly, this can take a decent amount of effort, at least on mine. There we go, and of course that popped the backpack off. So push that back in. Then you're really just going to swivel the bicep and swivel the wrist to just align everything properly. Just like that. And then we can kind of get him in a little bit more dynamic pose here. And there we go. We have Data Clerk Orion Pax in robot mode. I think he looks really good. I really do like what they did here a lot. Now, as you can see, this really does just come unpegged at the drop of a hat. It's really easy to just pop out of there. It's not that big a deal, though, honestly. If it does, it just kind of rests back there, and that's fine. Honestly, it's easier to kind of do that if you want to utilize the waist articulation anyway. So, the fact that this is supposed to peg, it does peg in. It absolutely does. But, you kind of look at it wrong and it just pops out. But it's fine. Just let it hang there. It's not a big deal. So, head sculpt, I think, looks really, really cool. It's nice to see Orion Pax here. It's kind of the helmet of Optimus Prime, but without the face mask. I really do like the eyes, the face, all that sculpting I think looks really sharp. I love the chest plate here. I think that looks really good as well. Some nice yellow paint down here in the crotch. Now, unfortunately, I don't have Siege Hound nearby to compare him directly because that's long since been packed away. But it's honestly pretty much the same. I believe the chest is obviously different. The legs might be slightly remolded. And obviously the windscreen here. But the rest of it is pretty much the same. Head is on a ball joint. You can kind of look down ever so slightly. Look up ever so slightly. But you can certainly spin side to side there, no problem. Even tilt a little bit side to side. You have a hinge here in the shoulder as well as a rotation. I said that backwards. I showed you the rotation and then said hinge, but you get it. So there's your shoulder. You have a bicep swivel there. Pretty much 90 degrees there in the elbow. You have a wrist swivel, which we saw during transformation. You have that waist swivel I just showed off. Nice range in the hips. Kick forward, kick back, move the arm and kick out to the side. So again, really nice range of motion in the hips. You have a thigh swivel kind of built into the side here. So it's not visible, but it is there. And then you have slightly over 90 in the knee because you start to hit into like the pieces, the wheels and everything start to hit into this area. So you can't go much further than that. But then, of course, you got your ankle tilt. Nothing front to back, but you certainly have the tilt side to side there. So Yeah, he's cool. I like him. I wish the backpack stayed pegged in a little better, but again, it's not certainly not a deal breaker. But he looks good. I'm going to go ahead and bring his accessories back in. So we've got this axe. I really like this. I like the arm guard for it. I think that's really cool, or the hand guard. I can't remember. I think this is supposed to be the front of the axe. I guess it doesn't really matter, whatever your preference. If you want to spin it around, and this is, I think that's the smaller side though. Either way, it's a really cool axe design. I like it a lot. Nicely painted orange on both sides. Technically, for storage, if you want to take this off, you can. It does come apart. You can see it's two different pieces here. And I guess if you wanted, I'm trying to say, could you try to use this as something else? I guess it doesn't really, there's no reason to pretend that's a gun when you do already get a gun. Now, this is exactly the same gun accessory that came with Hound, so nothing new here. You know, it's molded in this kind of dark gunmetal gray plastic. Looks fine. Has this little ammo clip here. If you want, you can peg this into either side. Like that. You can put it on that side. You can put it on this side. If you want, you can just peg it onto the back. So whatever look you prefer, you have a few options there. I kind of like to peg it into one of the sides. I think that's kind of neat. So I'm going to go ahead and pop that on there. And then we'll go ahead and pop this into his hand. Like so. And then we'll give him the axe. So honestly, decked out with both of his accessories, I think he looks really cool. I like him quite a bit. Yeah, he's just neat. I mean, you know, do we need another Orion Pax? Maybe not. But I think this guy's actually really cool. I think he looks great. Really nice paint applications. Good articulation. It's kind of fun to revisit the Hound mold, because it's been a while since I've seen it. I know we're going to get it again soon, because they're slightly remolding it for the Earth mode. Earthrise mode, whatever we're calling the not Cybertronian mode of Hound. But yeah, this guy's cool. I really like him a lot. I think the colors just really pop on this mold, and I think they did a nice job with it. So yeah, pretty happy with this. Alright, so we have Senator Shockwave here up next. I'm going to go ahead and just remove the little wing fins. Technically, you could leave them on the arms the entire time during the transformation, but just for simplicity's sake, I'm going to go ahead and take them off. So you can start here by kind of moving the chest plate. This will kind of wiggle out of the way here and drop down a little bit. This little section here will flip out, flip up, and then peg into this little spot up here. There we go. That'll click into place, and then that'll come down and peg in. Honestly, if you've transformed one of the Siege Tetrajets, there's not really going to be much in terms of surprise here. We're going to grab these and disconnect them from the arms. And so these will kind of lift up and just hang out here for now. Then we are going to unpeg what will be the arms from what will be the legs and just kind of lift them out of the way. And then this section, the two legs, will kind of drop down like so. The entire backpack section here will kind of lift up and out of the way on this hinge inside there. We'll let that sit for the moment. We'll bring the legs down. We will rotate at the waist 180 degrees like so. And the nice thing is we have the feet. These spring-loaded pieces are still here, which is nice. That hasn't changed. We will open up the feet like so. Pop these open, and then you can see pretty much the legs are already done. Zoom out a bit here. We'll come to the arms. So these will open up. You can see right here the kind of seam right there. So this will open up like that. We're going to rotate out the fist like so, and then you kind of expand out the bicep like that. And then close that up and just rotate that into position. Do the same over here on this side. Hinge this open, rotate out the fist. And some of these are a little tight on mine, some of these joints, but not a problem. There we go. Then we can bring the chest plate down, and this will come down and click into place What am I doing? I feel like this is supposed to, yeah, you can see that there's 2 tabs and they're supposed to sit in this slot down here. There we go. Okay, now we are connected into place. So you can pretty much see we have the whole robot mode here. The head is sitting back here. This is going to rotate around like this. It is pegged into this panel so that it stays in place during the transformation. You can unhook that. Now you can leave this kind of out to the side, or you can flip it down, whatever you prefer. I kind of like to just get it out of the way and just flip it down like so. Then we're going to take this large kind of fuselage section here and split it in half. And just like the Tetrajets, this will rotate around up like so. And then you can see that there are these tabs here on the inside, and they will click into these 2 tabs here. So we'll bring this down and click those into place. There we go. And we're pretty much done at that point. Just kind of situate everything. Move the head up there. And then these pieces, you can kind of do a little bit of maneuvering around. I believe these, yeah, these can swivel. So you kind of have some movement here. You can put them all the way back. You can put them at a 45-degree angle. You can put them all the way out. And you can also kind of tilt them. You can see that they rotate up like this as well. So you could do something like this, rotate them out, or maybe I'm thinking 45-degree angle, rotate it up a little bit. Maybe something like that. Let me adjust the camera here. And then we can bring these in. Again, you can kind of do whatever you want. If you want him to hold them for some reason, maybe use them as like tiny blades, something like that, you totally could. You could put them, again, here on the forearm, maybe something like this if you want him to kind of use it as arm blades. You could put them like this and maybe rotate them up like that if you like the look of that. Kind of whatever you prefer. I'm thinking maybe something like that. So whatever you prefer. You have a couple options with that. You can leave them off completely. You can store them somewhere else. You have some options. But there is Senator Shockwave in robot mode. I think he looks pretty good, even though he is made from the Tetrajet mold. I feel like enough is different that he doesn't really look like a Seeker. I kind of like these pieces here on the back. Again, if you'd rather kind of tilt them down, whatever you think looks better, you have some options there. Head sculpt, I think, looks really, really cool. It's kind of crazy to think that this eventually becomes Shockwave just because of how completely different the head sculpts look. But that's really nice. The eyes look great. The face is nice. A little bit of paint there on the crest. The chest plate looks amazing. Definitely reminds me of like Ultra Magnus or something like that. And it feels like this could have been, you know, maybe a Cybertronian design of Ultra Magnus or something like that. So when you hear that it's Shockwave, it's so jarring from what he will become that it's kind of crazy. But yeah, so head is on a ball joint. You can look down slightly. Can't really look up all that much. Spin side to side, no problem. Not really any side to side tilt. You have the rotation here at the shoulder as well as the hinge out to the side. You have a bicep swivel. You have kind of double jointed elbows, so you have a nice range of motion there, mostly from the transformation. You do have a wrist swivel. You have a waist swivel. It's a little encumbered by the backpack here, but you do have a waist swivel. Kick really far out to the front. If we move the arm out to the side, we can kick really far out to the side. Again, can't really go back all that much because of the backpack. Thigh swivel there. I would say over 90 degrees there in the knee, depending on how you pose it. And then we have a little bit of ankle tilt, not a ton, but you do have some front to back, which is nice. So really, really nice. Really nice molding. The chest is obviously all new. I think the crotch is new as well. Obviously the head is new. I think the rest of them is pretty much, well, obviously the wings are different, but I'm saying from the legs down, I think the same as the Seeker mold. Let me zoom back out here. But yeah, he looks good. It's a really fun design. And like I said, just for fun, I know it's not G1 Shockwave. This is Cyberverse / Earthspark Shockwave. But just a quick kind of this becomes this situation. You would never guess these are the same character. And I just think that's kind of fun and really kind of interesting. So yeah, it's neat that they're doing some of these IDW things. I know back in the day, you know, during Gold Box and Generations, a lot of those designs for the G1 characters were kind of heavily inspired by the IDW designs, you know, for like Trailbreaker, Hoist, that kind of stuff. But we're kind of coming back around full circle to some more IDW designs. So I'll go ahead and bring Orion Pax in here so we can see the two of them together. But yeah, these are a lot of fun. I really like these a lot. I think they're good. Yes, they're siege molds, which, you know, at this point are 7 years old. When you think the fact that we've gone through the whole War for Cybertron trilogy, we went through, you know, the whole, well, no, I'm thinking, I guess they're not really that old. I'm thinking back with the previous one, which was Combiner Wars and Titans Return and whatnot. So we've had Siege, then Earthrise. I'm confusing myself now. In any case, it's been a few years, probably 4 years or so. But they still hold up. You know, they're still solid molds. I think they look good. I think they did a nice job remolding them. Like I said, I really feel like, yes, this is the Seeker mold, but it doesn't really feel like it. You know, obviously these pieces here are kind of the main giveaway, but they've done a good job here. They've remolded these pretty nicely, and I'm happy to see these guys together here. So at the end of the day, I think this is a really fun 2-pack. Amazon / Pulse shared exclusive, so if you're looking for it, definitely check out one of those two spots. Like I said, when Amazon put them up, they switched the prices on the two sets. This one should be cheaper because you're getting one Deluxe and one Voyager, and the other set is 2 Voyagers. So I thought they would eventually fix it. They still have not fixed it, so I guess they're kind of committed to just hoping people buy both of them there. That way it works out for them price-wise. But if you play it right, you can grab this one at Pulse for $55, and then hopefully get the Megatron one from Amazon for $55, and you'll save $15. We'll see. I don't know if Amazon will correct it at the last minute, or if they'll send these out to people who've ordered the Megatron one. I hope that doesn't happen. Fingers crossed. But getting back to this, it's a really nice set. I do really like these a lot. Like I said, they're siege molds, which now that I've done the math correctly about 4 or 5 years ago, but they still hold up. And I think they did a really nice job. I love the color scheme. He's even a little bit brighter blue than he's showing up on camera. Like a sky blue, as opposed to, this is just kind of like a normal blue here, but he's really more of like a sky blue. And the color scheme on him is just great. The head sculpt looks good. The new chest is fantastic. I kind of wish he came with a gun. These little wings are fine, but to try to pretend that they're like bladed weapons is, you know, not really. I mean, I guess they could say, well, he's a senator. He's not really a warrior, but they're giving Senator Ratbat a weapon, although maybe he's more duplicitous, so I don't know. In any case, just throw a gun in with this guy would have been nice. I guess it's because the Seekers came with the null rays, and those definitely would not make sense, and to just like throw them in and have him hold the null rays wouldn't look right either. So I guess they just, you know, when they're using this mold, those were the weapons that were, I mean, that's why Orion Pax has Hound's gun. Not really the best fit for him, but at least it's something. But I do really love the axe. Honestly, I think the axe is really nice. I like the handguard here. I like the shape of the axe, painted really nice orange. And Orion Pax, I think they just did a really nice job. I know we just got one in that Hero is Born set with Alpha Trion, but they're two kind of very different designs. One is very G1 cartoon accurate, and this one is very comic book accurate. So depending on which universe you like, you know, pick your favorite or get them both. They're both really great. I was happy to have the G1 inspired one from New Dawn, but I think this is also really fun. And they don't feel like the same. They're the same name, they're the same character, but the two universes they come from are so different that they don't feel like the same character, if that makes sense. In any case, I really like this set. I definitely recommend picking it up. Hopefully Amazon figures out their price thing, but still honors the cheaper price on Megatron. So whoever can get this, or whoever wants this, can get it for the cheaper $55 price. Because I think it's sold out on Pulse right now. So, you know, hopefully it'll get cheaper on Amazon. But in any case, I definitely think this is worth checking out. I really like both of these. A lot more than I even expected to. I knew I would like them. but having them in hand, playing with them, I definitely like them even more, especially Senator Shockwave. I mean, they're both really great, but his colors are just so fun and so great, and I really, really like this a lot. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and as always, thank you so much for watching.